Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, a lot of people always say, so what if cruising isn't going on? Who cares? Because it just affects cruisers. Well, yeah, let me tell you how many people it affects. So right now, with all the cruisings being shut down and everything that's happening, cruise lines have had to cut back on staff, employees, etc. Right now, there are over 300,000 people unemployed who used to work directly either on the cruise ships or in support of the cruise ships, as far as like in the offices and things like that of the cruise lines. Then you have all the people who run shore excursions and that who have not happened. Alaska is a prime example. Their income is down 60% from no cruise ships sailing this year. Prince Edward Island, a very small cruise port, has lost 55% of its income for that port this year. A lot of people are suffering huge, and that goes for all kinds of different ports around the world. And now we have reports coming in from a German luxury cruise line maker. This is one of the guys who actually builds the large cruise ship. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name because everyone always makes fun of my pronunciation. Say, what can I say? I'm a country boy at heart from the deep woods of Canada, and I have my own accent and a way of talking, and that's about it. So how's it going, eh? So there you go. So I'll just put the name up here. And they have just gone into what they call an extended vacation. So normally the cruise line shuts down for 3 weeks during a certain period of time every year. And this time they are shutting down for 6 weeks. And they say it's mostly because of how the structure is being worked and cruise lines canceling orders for future cruise ships. Also, a lot of them were, once this all hit and the cruise lines weren't sailing, a lot of the cruise ship builders didn't think this was going to go on as long as it has, like a lot of us did. They actually, waived the cruise ship payments until after the cruise ships are delivered. You don't have to make payments. You don't have to give us any money. And then you can start making your payments after you actually take possession of the ship. And no one's taking possession of the ships right now because you can't sail. So they don't have a lot of money coming in, a lot of income. And so they have to raise, this one German cruise maker has to raise $1.3 billion to keep afloat for the next 5 years with a lot of minimum income coming in. One of the problems with that is right now, the people that they just furloughed for the extra vacation is 3,000 dock workers and construction workers, and they are owed their vacation pay. And that total is $16 million already just for that chunk of change, not continuing going forward. So those people haven't been paid neither, and they said they'll be paid maybe later this year. So there you go. Even the people who build ships right now are having a hard time making ends meet. And a lot of people are in that situation around the world. Travel agents, hotels, theme parks, cruise liners, tour guides, museums, you name it, all kinds of places are just struggling to survive right now. And if we don't get a handle on things, unemployment is going to be skyrocketing by the end of the year. Absolutely skyrocketing. And a lot of these places may never, ever come back. Who would have ever thought that a cruise line like Carnival Cruise Line may ever be on the verge of bankruptcy, or Disney, Walt Disney, could ever possibly be at the point where they don't have enough money to continue building new projects or anything, with all the things they're into with movies and televisions and theme parks and hotels, etc., cruise lines. They're huge. They're sports complexes, and they're draining money right now. Every day that the theme parks aren't open, they lose about $12 million every day a theme park's not open. So that money has to come from somewhere. And even when they do open, they're definitely not opening to the crowds that they were, by no means. But they still have to keep working. They still have to maintain everything. And it's just a money drain over and over and over and over and over again for a lot of places that don't have any income coming in right now. Very scary proposition, but there you go. That's just a taste and a little sample of just how worldwide effect that not only cruise ships being shut down and not being able to sail, but just travel in general. Travel in general is such an intertwined amount of not only people's vacations and enjoyment of life and everyday living. It's intricate in our economy worldwide, not just in North America, but worldwide. It relies on travel so much. It is probably the #1 industry in the world if you count all the different types of travel there is, including hotels, etc., and airlines, etc., etc., etc. And if there's no travel, there's no income and there's no jobs. And then if there's no jobs, there's no economy. So we really have to start getting a handle on things and figure something out soon, because if the travel doesn't come back until 2022, there's going to be a worldwide shortage of jobs, and they may never, ever come back. Well, it's a sad day. It's a sad news story about it. So many people say that, the cruising being shut down only affects cruises. Well, no, it doesn't, because it affects people. It affects jobs. Just the other day, I called my business development manager at Princess that I deal with whenever I have an issue of any kind, and she's been furloughed until the end of November. I went, oh my God, that's crazy. Then I was messaging a friend of mine who's a cruise director on a cruise ship, and I was just saying how they're hoping they're doing well and everything's good. Have they heard anything back? And they don't expect to be anywhere back on a ship until next year. And so all these people are out of jobs and out of money. And people just shrug it off as if, oh, well, it's just a cruise ship. It's just a holiday. You don't really need it. Well, these people need it. It's their livelihood and it's their income. So if I go to you, no matter what you do in the world, and I go to you and say, okay, tomorrow, we are not allowing you to do any of your jobs anywhere in the world for a year and a half. How long would you survive? And I know that, I don't care what you are, a dentist. I don't care, a plumber. You're not allowed to do plumbing for a year and a half. How long would your company survive? How long would that happen, right? So it's scary. It is scary. And I know so many people personally who are huge hurt by this. And not everyone is getting government bailouts. Not everyone qualifies for handouts from the government to stay home. A lot of these people didn't qualify for that because they ran a small business, and technically they're still allowed to open, even though they're only allowed to open with, 20% of their normal capacity. How do you stay in business at 20% capacity? You don't. Look at how in North America, one of the funny things is they were talking about you can now open theaters here in Ontario. That's great. You can open theaters. Well, but you can only open indoor buildings to a maximum of 50 people. Well, at my theater, there are 14 theaters. The smallest one holds 100 people. The largest one holds about 400 people. Yet the whole building, and there's 14 of them, and the whole building is only allowed to have 50 people. It seems kind of ridiculous. How would you expect a company to be able to make any kind of money or any kind of profit at all? What, you're going to put 2 people in every theater, 3 people in every theater and run a movie? No, you're not. You're not going to do that. It seems crazy because some of the numbers and the guidelines they come out with are just a number. If you're indoors, it's 50 people, and it's firm. Well, it doesn't matter that you have 400 rooms in that place and no one congregates together. You can separate everybody. A movie theater can get mobile, their concessions. They can put it on carts and bring it into each of the theaters and sell in there. So if you were to say, okay, you can bring in up to 30 to 40% in each theater, wouldn't that make more sense? As opposed to 50 for the whole building that holds maybe 10,000 people. That's crazy. And so, yeah, it's not just the cruise lines. It's people, it's jobs, it's economy, it's everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. And so let's hope things turn around a lot sooner than later. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.